Hey guys, welcome to the WABC, World Adaptive Boxing Council. My name's Colin Wood and I'm the founder of WABC. I would like to just explain a few things so that we understand the safety as well as mental health, as well as physicality, all plays a key part and we're all human. And I asked a question one day to a personal friend of mine, two times world champion Gary Murray, to could could there be a way forward for an adaptive person to box? At first, like we know, I went through a lot of abuse from people stating could never be done. I understood the ethics could be done because of my rugby league coaching, and especially with myself having a disability, that I knew there was a potential, but basically, who's going to believe something unless it's shown? And that's proving points. I'd like to say thank you first to a few people. I know there's a lot of people out there that have had faith in what I've done. And firstly, I mean, Malcolm Bell from Rugby Jiu-Jitsu. You've got Andrew Burt from Wales, Judo, and also Gary Murray, two times world champion, and whom I've become somewhat of an understudy to him. And believe you me, since 2013, I've understood the politics of boxing. I had to, in order to advocate to AIBA, and AIBA basically passed us around the bush, as they say, to various organisations under AIBA, which runs for amateur boxing. Now, we already had an understanding, if that makes sense, ladies and gentlemen, because whatever I'd done or I have done, I stated that by the age of 50, which I am now, that basically I would actually then hopefully be at a crossroads that would actually say, I have the confidence to do what I'm going to do. I've got the confidence. I set up the organisation. I've learned a lot of lessons on politics, and if you strip the politics and religion, you're left with your human quality. So you're left with greedy, selfish, jealous people. That's what I dealt with. It's also the ability to not be selfish. It's also the ability to not be selflessness. And that is a hard quality because it brings good or bad, and you can have a choice which one to choose. And I chose to be good in order to bring something that also under mental health, that it saves life. And that's what I was trying to encourage by bringing people together. So you can honestly say that with the Intius project that I designed was a community relations project that not only showed mental health, not only physicality, but it brought them both together to actually show you that as a human, we can actually give a choice to actually choose many qualities in sport. And it's basically that what I wanted from that was that the organisation that I grew, which is the WABC, which is under the ABO, which is the Adaptive Boxing Organisation, CIC, then I hope you can understand community interest company is about what you do by putting that money to invest into that which is human. To grow the sport, it's a brand new sport, and believe you and me, to understand, I've had to dissect the word boxing because not many people can actually throw a jab. And when I mean throw a jab, if I stand on my southpaw stance, then basically what happens is, in order to throw a straight jab and to get this hand hitting with these two knuckles, then it was about understanding that somewhat that shoulder has to hit that jaw, just to give a sweet spot for what you're going to do by a truer shot. Now, most people who are adaptive won't be able to throw that straight shot. And over the next weeks, months, and over the process is that we're going to be releasing videos that not only show that we can include an elite level of what we're doing, but also encourage that which is severity in lower cases. And that's not giving a Superman complex to anyone, but it's actually saying that we can, if we improve, get to a higher structure. So in order for adaptive to box, we had to look at that which was the major key. And this is where I think that most got scared, because if you see the world of able amateur boxing at the moment, as well as boxing as a whole, injuries occur. Who has a duty to care? I hope by the actions that we showed that it's a lesson that from when I came into this, from bare knuckle through to amateur, white collar, and the good thing, guys, is that every fighter that went on there to showcase, especially to raise the bar and show that people could do it, our fighters, I ensured personally each time to make sure that, you know, if anything did happen, then that research that I'd done to now get to the point where I'm 50 and I want to give something that actually gave a greater message to bringing people together, then I hope by my actions speak loud. Adaptive boxing is a serious sport. But we've had to look at this in all the angles. Being amateur, in professionalism, it's a kill, be killed action. You get paid for it to do that job. This is amateur. And this ain't against any club or any fighter. This is against those people that did have a duty of care and it flawed. I'm just showing that I stood true to that which was integrity of building a brand new sport that included a wider selection of people without discrimination. That's a key word, guys, discrimination. And we have the ability as human beings, we foul so much in that we don't give respect to many people. And yet we actually build brick walls between us. There is so many divides. Even in England, it's a pain in the backside because each county has its own separate entities to do and to look after that, which actually, what do they do? As we know, most is exploited. It's how do we give a free access to people? And that's where the INTIUS program came in, and it showed a level that we had very much all sports showing their similarities. In order to do boxing, just helps us to build up a research and development more, and also helped others break barriers down that other people are stating they can't do. I've always gone for the physicality. If a medical states that you can't do something, then we've got to find ways to actually include these guys. So from elite level, all the way through down to, say, severity, where a person can't throw that jab and has a claw hand, or cerebral palsy, MS, then isn't it right, in order to have a sport, we have to think of all, not just a certain sector? But I apologise to those people that thought I was confusing, because at the end of the day, I hope this now helps you, the people, with the developments of adaptive boxing, showed that it was a lot of heart that was put into it. And in order to grow the sport to Paralympics, it's about bringing other countries under a one rule fits all campaign. It's what you do as a governing body in order to put the money into a central location. You have to have the ability to grow the sport, but you also have to know that there's people that are not going to be able to afford that, let alone countries be able to compete on the same level as most other countries that are rich. A sport is one rule fits all worldwide. That's why I set up WABC, was to give hope and also give a chance, but also prove that adaptive can do more than what you see today. Keep an eye out, guys. It's meant a lot to me personally. I can honestly say I'm very humble in what I've done, but it was one man that done everything that you're going to see come out now. And I want to say thank you to those people that had faith and stay true. Without you, I'd have fought, or I'd have failed, sorry. But here's to the future of adaptive boxing, because I know that adaptive can do more.